Greetings everyone and welcome to a brand new episode of All Things Lambda, the community show where I sit here only at the start and the end of each episode. Wouldn't it make more sense if my face was shown throughout the entire episode? Maybe you guys don't want to see my face the entire time anyway, so let's just continue with the style we currently have going on, shall we? Wow, that intro was very irrelevant. We got a lot of stuff to show off this week, so why don't we just get started right now?
LambdaGeneration.
Noclip, the same YouTube channel who brought you the Half-Life 20th anniversary community documentary, has brought you something completely new. This time, they tackled the game developer Arcane Studios, a studio that's now owned by ZeniMax Media, or Bethesda for short. Now you may ask, what does Arcane Studios have to do with Half-Life, Mitch? I don't give a damn! Well, you might start to give a damn when I tell you that they were actually working on a Half-Life 2 episode at some point, and a lot of that episode is shown off in this documentary. Yeah. Thought you'd care about that. The project was internally just called Ravenholm, and it took place in the Swedish town of Vosburgh, where you have to find giant mutated Swedish meatballs that spit toxic warm peanut sauce all over the place. No, just kidding, it takes place in Ravenholm. By your side is Father Gregory, who's injecting himself with some kind of goo he extracts from head crabs. Ew. Together with him, you help him solve traps and fight all kinds of zombies and mutants. Most notably, these weird mutant monkeys. I actually quite like the enemy variety here. It's something different than your standard headcrab zombies. There's also a plethora of new weapons, like the magnet gun, which allows for loads of new gameplay opportunities, which are meant to really shake up the game design of Half-Life 2. The art and level design on display here is also incredible, and the levels are a lot more detailed than what we've seen from the released Half-Life 2 games. Seriously, this game can look downright gorgeous at times. Anyway, there's a lot more to uncover here, and I really recommend you go and check out The Untold History of Arcane by Noclip, even if it's just for the Half-Life stuff. They also talk about The Crossing here, which is another Arcane project that ran on the Source engine that also looked incredible and had lots of potential. If you do decide to check it out, it's linked down below in the description. As it's about an hour and a half long, it makes for a great viewing for a movie night or something. Or you can just watch Paul Blart Mall Cop again. But would you really want that? Are you also saddened by the fact that the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe is going to run on Unity instead of the Source engine? Well, I'm glad to tell you that there is going to be another Parable in the Source engine again. Well, in Source 2, actually, which might even be better. The Alyx Parable is a Half-Life Alyx mod created by a bunch of passionate modders that aims to recreate a Stanley Parable-like experience, but in VR and in the Source 2 engine. And it looks quite neat. It seems to be following the same idea as the good old Stanley Parable, but with Alyx in the spotlight instead of Stanley. There is already a gameplay teaser out right now that shows off what the gameplay is going to be like. I'm not really sure if I'm keen on the narrator's voice though. He doesn't seem to have the same kind of charm as the narrator from the source material, but I gotta say that the gameplay works incredibly well in VR and it's really a great fit. The viewer, which is you, now decided to stop moving the mouse over to the description section of the webpage. After clicking Show More, the viewer now right-clicked on the link to the Alyx Parable gameplay teaser and afterwards clicked on Open Link in New Tab. This way, the viewer can enjoy the Alyx Parable gameplay teaser after All Things Lambda has ended its 94th episode, because clicking away now would be rude. A little while ago, we reported on a Half-Life Alyx mapping contest taking place, and as it turns out, time doesn't stop, because the contest ended a little bit ago and the content of that mapping contest has now been released for the public to download, install, and experience. All of the content can be easily downloaded on the Steam Workshop for Half-Life Alyx. Do make sure you download all 2 parts though, or else your game might turn into a giant black hole of regret and despair. Maps include Infestation Control by Greg, Club 17 by Dormin, Warehouse Breach by Mr. Brawls, and Shakedown by Jonathan. The official winner of the contest is apparently still to be determined and will be judged by Tyler McVicker, Gvarados, Spike Hunter, and Paradox. And by you. well, your vote isn't gonna count towards the choosing of the final winner. That's the job of the actual judges, but you can still play all of the maps and judge them for yourself. The links to download both add-ons are down in the description below. Half-Life Alyx and a VR headset is required. Entropy 02 is back again, and this time with a new video update. Instead of streaming the new content that Bretman wants to show to the world, he instead decided to pre-record a video with all the new stuff. Let's go over it. At first, he shows off the work that has been done on Chapter 3 of the game, which seems to take place at Aperture Science. The team has worked a bunch on this chapter while Bretman has been working on later chapters in the game, and it's looking really amazing. Just look at all this glow goop. Kicking is now a thing. Yes, that's a note that I wrote down in the script while I was watching the video, and I'm just gonna keep it there. You can kick head crabs, other creatures, and you can apparently kick the weapons out of rebels' hands to disarm them. It sounds awesome, and it looks awesome. We get to see some pretty badass gameplay of where Bad Cop is kicking the absolute butt off of a bunch of rebels and Vortigons, and I want to play this right now. Like, right now, gimme! There are some other things that are being shown here, like bull squid eggs that actually hatch and more. You'll just have to watch the video. Bretman also kindly sent a few screenies my way to show off to you. They're mostly what you're gonna find by watching the video, but just looking at these screenshots, you can really see that the project is coming together quite nicely, and I really can't wait to be playing the final product. And hey, I still voice in it. Anyway, a link to the video is in the description below. Go and give Bretman and his team some love. It's always super nice to see people doing stuff for charity, and seeing the Half-Life art and writing community come together to do something here is really nice. Together, they created Lambda Core, a Half-Life magazine/comic book. The zine includes loads of artwork created by over 33 illustrators and a couple stories written by 3 different writers. It's completely filled to the brim with amazing Half-Life art that is just a treat to look at. Some of them are comics and others are just set pieces, which I definitely want a poster of. The zine is just $3, which is absolutely worth your money. Yes, there is a free version too if you want to have a taste of what you'll be getting in the full version, but I recommend that if you have the money to donate and get the full version. The collected money will go to the Autistic Self-Advocacy Network, the Organization for Women in Science for the Developing World, and the World Health Organization COVID-19 Solidarity Response Fund. Wow, that's a mouthful. They will continue to collect donations until June 5th and will be donating the collected money on June 12th. So if you want to donate and get some awesome Half-Life art back for it, then now's your chance to do it. I'm certainly going to. A link to the Gumroad page is in the description below. Now that we're on the topic of art, let's talk about some more. Connor Bramner is back at it again, making some more Covalent art and publishing it in his spare time. I love this comic series, so let's dive into the new content, shall we? The first thing to show off here is this piece called The Stranger. Ishmael, the friendly Vortigon, comes across someone who he hoped would never show his face around ever again. Ominous stuff. And another piece that he published is centered around the Lancers. They're apparently a fighting force that's mass-produced by the Combine to scout the fields for their missing soldiers. And right now, they're probably trying to find a specific someone. If you want to find more of Connor's art, they're all neatly posted on his Twitter account, which is linked down below in the description. In the age of digital games, we sometimes don't even see our favorites get big box releases anymore. Back in the day, it used to be common, but not so much anymore. This makes it even more special when a digital-only game does get a physical release. Black Mesa apparently does have a big box release, but only in incredibly limited quantities. YouTuber and massive computer nerd, Lazy Game Reviews, actually received one of these big box releases together with a 3D printed HEV suit and stand. Look at how neat this is. The box itself is empty though, but it does look like your conventional big box release. It even has the little door that you fold open to show more information about the game. This is awesome. I wish that I owned something like that. If you'd like to see this tweet from Lazy Game Reviews, then you can find a link to it in the description below. Oh, and me calling him a massive computer nerd is a compliment, by the way. I love his videos. We're ending this episode with another amazing creation in Source Filmmaker. This time, animator Caleb is using the Source 2 version of Source Filmmaker that came with the Half-Life Alyx workshop tools that came out a few weeks ago. Tour, as they call it, looks absolutely gorgeous and really shows off how good of a tool Source Filmmaker can become with the new graphical capabilities of Source 2. I mean, some shots here almost look downright hyper-realistic. I specifically love the handheld shot at the beginning of the video. It looks so convincing, I'm actually wondering if it's possible to use your VR headset or knuckle controllers or something as a digital camera to track these kinds of movements. It's really impressive. Anyway, if you want to watch this, and I'm not gonna blame you if you do, then I recommend you to click the link down in the description below. Go do it now. You know what else I'm not gonna blame you for? Joining our social media. It's all down there in the description, as well as our Discord server, which you should join to continue the conversation. Of course, you silly. Oh, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's called Glorious Rigby, and it's also linked down below in the description, together with my Twitter, which you should also follow. Please follow my Twitter, it's a fun place there. And with that, I'm going to end episode 94 of All Things Lambda. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode, but in the meantime, don't forget to subscribe and to ring that bell icon to never miss another episode. Salutations, and take care, and yes, I did this outro very quickly because my camera's about to run out of batteries. Bye!